I'm Kevin Hettinger.
And I'm Leslie Hettinger.
And we own the Spotts-Coffman House here in Staunton, Virginia. I think the first thing we found out is that when we saw people standing in front of our house on Saturday nights, about 30 to 50 people sometimes, we were like, what? And then we were told, of course, that we had the ghost tour. But then as time went on, we realized that we had a lot in common as far as what we wanted to bring forward. And so thought this was a good way of doing it, because there's a lot of interest in the house as well as the paranormal, things like that. And it certainly has a lot of things going on here in the house in both of those regards. So
I think that our biggest thing that we want to accomplish in having these tours and things is to basically get to know the stories of the people and the families that lived in this house, and that were such a big part of Staunton and the community in the late 1800s and early 1900s. And also to show that in the research that we found that Miss Charlotte was not a black widow, and that she was a very caring, kind person. And we want to make sure that people will remember her for that. I think it's important that we do these tours, since people seem to be so interested in the paranormal life and the experiences, and love to go on ghost walks and go to haunted houses and things like that. And we feel that we live in a haunted house, and we want to be able to let people experience what we've experienced. We've had many fun experiences and some scary experiences in the house, and we thought it would be fun to share with the community.
We were contacted by Ghosts of Staunton after we had a couple of tour guides come through on our Halloween tour last year, and we were telling different stories and different items of research that we had found on Charlotte and her life. And then we also discussed some of the different paranormal experiences that we had had in the house, and we were sharing those with them as well as the other people that were on the tour. And we just want to continue to go ahead and share those same experiences and others that we've had since then here in the house.
Well, we also have a lot of people ask us when they come on our regular tours if the house is haunted. We also have people that have gone on the Ghosts of Staunton tour and have heard the story and said they were so curious about wanting to see what was inside the house as well as the outside.
Yes, we've had a couple of different people that have come through the house that are sensitive, and they have picked up on different entities. There have been different sightings of individuals of different entities, I should say, by that people have seen. So yes, we believe there's more than one here.
And we've heard women's voices and men's voices. We've also seen, or some people have actually seen, a child running through the house. And another person actually felt like they had a cat walking next to them, brushing up on their legs.
Hello, I'm Marty Seibel with the Ghosts of Staunton Walking Ghost Tours. I'm very happy and excited to announce our newest addition to our ghost tours for this season, 2023, called Victorian Ghostly Encounters. I'm very happy to say we have partnered with the Society for Victorian Arts and Culture. Kevin and Leslie have been great, and we've been able to learn a little bit more information about Mrs. Charlotte Coffman. With this particular location, I'm very excited because we get to share a little bit more information about Mrs. Charlotte Coffman and everyone else that resided here over the years. We get to present that historical information, and we also delve into the Victorian era. We do share some things with you like post-mortem photography, spirit photography back in the day, some of the customs and traditions. So we're very excited about that. We'll present that to you along our walk or on our journey to the Spotts-Coffman House.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Louis Wiseman. I'm one of the ghost tour guides with Ghosts of Staunton. We have the pleasure of doing the ghost tour up here for the Victorian home of Mrs. Charlotte Coffman this year, and we're very pleased to announce that. and looking forward to bringing everyone through, letting them see the home, and learning a lot about the Victorian era on the way up here. The thing that excites me the most is just the Victorian era altogether. The life, the death, the clothing that the folks wore, the customs that folks had. It was amazing going back through and doing research in history exactly what people actually did back in those days, especially when it came time to funerals and stuff, the elaborate things that they went through to have funerals and things. It's just all of it put together. That's correct. My first tour up here, we actually came into the foyer, and I was talking with Kevin and Leslie, and Mrs. Charlotte Coffman was behind me and to my left out in the foyer. She followed us through the house for the most part. When we went upstairs to the servants' quarters, we did encounter a gentleman up there that seemed to be, I think, a little put off that we were in his way. He was busy doing something and wanted us to get out of the way. We left from there, went down to the little child's room, and sensed the presence of a small child down there. Then when we got ready to leave Charlotte's bedroom to come down the steps, as soon as we mentioned her name, she was right there with us once again and followed us down the steps. But she seems to be very, very pleased with what Kevin and Leslie are doing with the house, and she's glad that people are coming to see her. Well, for your first time coming through on the tour, when we meet at our starting spot down near Grace Christian School, you're going to learn a lot about Victorian customs, things that were done in the day and the time. And then when you get here to the house, you're going to get a more immersive experience. One of the things I think that people will enjoy is once you come through the front door is as though you have time traveled back into the 1800s, and you're right here with the folks that lived in this house. And who knows, one might get to see Mrs. Charlotte Coffman on their tour. You just never know.
I'm Rachel Seibel, a tour guide with the Ghosts of Staunton Ghost Tours, and I'm going to be a guide on the Victorian ghostly encounters. And I'm really excited to welcome everybody to this wonderful ghost tour. I think the house itself has been much anticipated from the tours for years. So just constantly seeing it, and now having the opportunity to meet the people that live there and to share some of their experiences with me is very interesting, as well as like the time period and the dress and wear is exciting too. I think it's kind of nice just to get a glimpse of somebody and hear a personal story of somebody who lived during that time period and the things they experienced, and the heartache of losing 2 husbands, I'm sure, is kind of hard, so you can kind of sympathize with that. There's just like such a great loss of life during that time period, with the child mortality rate being so high and losing all the loved ones during the Civil War, and just all the things they were exposed to that we know are now dangerous. And so people didn't have a very high life expectancy either. So it's just like a great time of mourning and kind of sadness, and so it makes it a little bit more interesting for the paranormal.
Hi, my name is Charlie Schillinger. I'm a ghost tour guide with the Ghosts of Staunton. I do the Dark Tales and Haunts tour on Fridays and Saturday nights. The new tour is really exciting because we can go inside of one of the houses that we have talked about so often. It's one of the houses that sparks intrigue and curiosity in all of the people that have come on our tours. And so now we can finally give you the extension of that story and have a more hands-on experience. The Victorian era had a fascination with death, I think because there was a lot of death around due to various diseases and child mortality rates. So people had different rituals that they would do to be more accustomed to it and to be more welcoming. So they would spend months in mourning, and it transcended into their attire and into their way of life. So it was more than just like a period, it was a lifestyle, and I find that extremely fascinating.